Hey guys, welcome. This is a general reading for the collective of Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Welcome cross watchers for Taurus. And if you're brand new to the channel, really happy to have you join us. I'm going to jump in with Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. Let's get you an Oracle card to kick off the reading. Here we go. Oh, Venusian Galactic Council. Well, Venus is your ruling planet. Star being guides, answer the call, time to shine. Now, it's kind of hard to see this, but imagine now, it's the Venusian Galactic Council. So there are three beings here called your star being guides. And I don't know if I pull back or if I come in closer because of the light. You can see here's one figure. Here's a figure, here's a figure, but they are your Venusian guides. Don't they come into focus more when I get closer? I know, it's so weird when you look at it with the naked eye versus through the screen, but it's very cool. A crystal crown appears, it seems, crystal in the heart chakra region. Really beautiful. So we've got your ruling planet and the Galactic Council therein, coming in, calling on you, time to shine and to answer the call. And whenever I hear answer the call, I often feel themes around the Judgment card coming in, right? Sort of that answer the call for your next highest timeline even. So we'll see what comes through. So I'm going to jump in and do your spread. Let's see what wants to come through. One more shuffle here. Had a bunch of thunderstorms today. It's been brutal. It's been brutal. So we're opening up with maybe something that you're really ready to offload, especially with regard to this King of Wands. The King of Wands could be a challenge for you right now, and you may be feeling like this is just too much of a burden that you're carrying personally. And if you're being crossed here by the King of Wands, it could be that this is the unavailable lover, someone who isn't really claiming the connection in the root of the problem. Yeah, it's about commitment. This is, Hierophant is associated with the sign of Taurus. So we've got, themes around conventional committed relationships, themes around our beliefs around commitment. This is also about the vows we make and take in life and life partnerships. So thinking of, marriage and commitment and those kinds of themes. So it could be that we're getting into a reading that has that struggle in the past. Wow, I like the sun here, but it seems as if it's a reference to happier times, top of mind, now maybe feeling a little stuck in the near future. Two of Pentacles, weighing, what you're really dealing with, pros, cons, maybe being on the fence a little bit. Message from Spirit. Okay, Page of Cups, some kind of message from the heart, something sincere, could even be an apology. In the hidden energy of your person, who, for lack of a better phrase, I'm going to call the King of Wands, Queen of Swords. It's as if this person knows you kind of see right through them. Yeah. And so, you're going straight to the source. Right? You want some answers. You want some clarity. And they can't BS their way around it. Okay? So that's interesting. And then in the outcome position, we have the Emperor. So that is, divine masculine energy. We'll have to see if this person sort of flips it all around in the end. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers. King of Wands again, Page of Wands, Devil. So I do feel this is something that you might not even realize it at this moment, but that you may be dealing with someone who has some shadow artifacts working presently. The cards from the bottom of the deck are what you can't see. So it's either in your unconscious awareness, your person's unconscious awareness, or playing out behind the scenes, meaning you can't see it, but you get to in the spread so that you can factor it in on some level. And the Devil is just coming in as egoic fears, resistance, limitations, perceived limitations, things that tend to keep us small, things that keep us coloring inside the lines, right? All the restrictions and limitations, that side of us that says, I can't have nice things. It can also be that part of us that gets over controlling, right? Sometimes makes us a little manipulative, because if we feel like we can't control something, we can manipulate things to get it to go a certain way. But I'm feeling here with the clarifier of the King of Wands landing on what you're here to explore, which is what's up with this person. Do they want me? Do they not want me? Are they in this? Are they not in this? And it's too much to bear right now. We have this Page of Wands, and the page, it's almost like that's what you're seeing, is you're seeing someone who is kind of like tossing it off, like nonchalant, kind of surface level, maybe not, seemingly not taking things too seriously. And that's what's troubling, because you're thinking this King of Wands, but what you're seeing is more of a page level, something not as evolved. And what I'm showing you is that is coming from their fears. That is coming from a shadow artifact, something that's telling them that that they need to gain some kind of control over the situation. And that's their tactic. But it's not really who they are. Okay, it's just sort of, we all do it. I'm not putting it all on one person here. I'm just letting you know so that you can say, oh, all right. So what I'm seeing isn't really what's going on. It's just sort of like sometimes we play act a certain way if we feel we're losing control over a situation. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So let's see the Hierophant in the root of the problem. Ace of Wands, Three of Swords, Emperor. So stay with me. So if you're ready for something more in a connection, Ace of Wands on the Hierophant. If you're like, I'm ready to up-level this. I'm ready for something more committed. I'm ready for something more long-term. I'm ready for marriage. I'm ready for. And you're dealing with somebody who, you're feeling hurt by their inaction. You're feeling hurt by their, we were so happy. I can almost hear it. We were so happy. Things were so good. I'm pretty sure this is the right person. I thought they felt the same way, and now I'm getting this kind of stuff, and I'm trying to tell you, this is someone who has not found the right words to say they're not yet ready, and so they enact other ways of slowing things down, or of throwing you off the scent, however you want to frame it. It doesn't feel good. It does feel hurtful. It hurts one's feelings. But for some, it's a stalling tactic. For others, it's just a way to regain control of a situation that they feel is getting out of control, moving too fast, getting too serious, whatever. And I'm saying it this way, and I know I'm coming across very serious, and some people have come into the comments lately and said, "You're very serious." I take my work seriously. This is not fun and games for me. I'm talking about people's feelings, people's lives, relationships that, they really care about. And if you're, and if your feelings are hurt, I don't want to make light of it. That's not what I'm here for. And I also don't want to hold someone I have never met, this person, here that you're here to learn more about what's making them tick. I don't want to hold them responsible either, because I don't know the full story. But what I'm seeing is very common, and I've been seeing it in reading after reading after reading after reading. We are also in Mercury retrograde right now, and a lot of things can get twisted. And we are in Mercury retrograde. Mercury is in the sign of Leo, and I got the King of Wands here twice, and King of Wands is Leo. So I'm just trying to say that while wires may be crossed right now, things might clear up more toward the middle of August. So keep your powder dry, all right? And just be glad that if you're seeing something here and say, yeah, that really resonates, I feel like that's exactly what I'm experiencing, then good. Then you're getting confirmation and maybe some insight along the way between this and the extended, and you can then decompress a little and wait and see how things unfold after Mercury goes direct, and communication should be easier and less misunderstandings, miscommunications, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so let's look in the past. We had the Sun, Eight of Wands, Four of Swords, Five of Swords. Okay, so we had some kind of communication, probably recently. Doesn't have to be, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was more recent. Kind of communication that says what I just said a moment ago, which is, we were so happy. I don't understand. We were so happy. And now I'm over here trying to heal from, can I even trust your intentions? I'm feeling so defeated. Got it? And the Four of Swords to me is, especially when it comes through during Mercury retrograde, it is my Mercury retrograde card. It's about reflection. It's about reviewing and, reevaluating things, and when we reassess stuff. And you may have had a conversation recently, or you may be, reviewing things in your mind as you think about communicating about how happy, that conversation that would go, oh, we were so happy, and now I feel so, gaslit or set up or sabotaged or defeated, or, right, fill in the blank for the Five of Swords. Whatever you're feeling that suggests that, you may feel that there was a false front. A false front. Was it real? So whether this conversation happened or whether it will happen, the happiness was there in the past. And there's some reflection around a conversation, topically speaking, with regard to the happiness. And now within you, that sense of, I don't even know whether it was real. Can I trust that? Now I'm feeling so defeated. So, what can I trust? And as a result, what's top of mind is you're stuck. You're second guessing yourself. Ten of Pentacles. High Priestess. Yeah. Right? Not sure you can even trust your intuition about the future of the connection, where things might be headed. Maybe you're feeling a lot of sense of despair around it, some regrets of the past here, any mistakes that might have been made along the way, and that sense of, now I'm just frozen here. I don't know my next best move. Because if you think about the Ten of Pentacles and the Hierophant, those are themes of life partnership, building a life with somebody in a committed sense, right? Two of Pentacles in the near future. Star. Queen of Swords. Two of Swords. Yeah, I think in the near future, we have two twos, the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. The twos are always about choices and decisions. And I feel in the near future you'll be weighing like the pros and cons, or the realities on the ground, what you're really dealing with. And with the Star, it can be about, you know, the dream, or about whatever hope you have, but then not leaning on it too much, right? Because if you want to be reality-based, you got to go to the source and get your questions answered. And if you're going to make a decision, Two of Swords, that crossroads moment where you're like, well, I have an important decision I have to make, and I got to get clarity, right, for how best to proceed. So in the one sense, it's like, what am I really dealing with? And I don't want to kind of get hung up in the dream of it all. I've got hope, but hope isn't going to do the trick. I need to kind of have that communication. And why I like the Queen of Swords for you here is because she's not pie in the sky. She's level-headed and pragmatic and practical, and she just kind of cuts to the chase. And she doesn't have a hidden agenda. Her hand's extended. She's just kind of goes straight in and says, hey, I had some questions, and, you know, let's just give it to me straight here. And because I've got a decision to make here. And I'm not feeling good about the state of our connection. And I need some information. I need some clarity that only you can provide. So let's just sit down and have a good, healthy, open, honest conversation and get to the bottom of it. So that's sort of what I see coming. But the Two of Pentacles is almost like the one part of it is, you know, what am I really dealing with? But it's also it can often be a stalling tactic of a should I or shouldn't I? Should I approach this in this direct manner or shouldn't I? Okay, so there's a little bit of, it could be a little bit of both of those things. Assessing realities on the ground, but then also stalling a little bit for time with regard to facing it head on in that Queen of Swords direct kind of way. So let's see what we get from Spirit with the Page of Cups. Seven of Swords. King of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. So Spirit's trying to tell you that you're going to receive an apology from this person who kind of comes in to apologize for being evasive, for being avoidant and not showing up for you. And part of what may happen here is you may be a little guarded around what they have to say. I think that Four of Pentacles is your energy. You may kind of, you know, shield your heart a bit. But I do feel it's an apology for that sense of that. I'm seeing the King of Wands as the unavailable lover. I mean, that is the King of Wands reversed. And I do feel you get the apology coming in for that sort of unavailableness, that sense of avoidance and not being there for you, not being present, not being reliable. And you may kind of feel, I don't know, a little guarded. Not a problem, because A, makes sense. Your feelings have been hurt and you've been very burdened by all of this, but also I feel it's healthy boundaries, right? Like, that's nice. Thanks for the apology. Appreciate it. And then I feel that Queen of Swords needs to kind of rise up to the surface. And it helps to sort of have your most vulnerable feelings, guarded at that moment, because you're going to want to operate less from emotion and more from the practical, because it doesn't matter what sign you are, who I'm talking to here. You could be the Taurian, you might not be, you might be the cross watcher. These can always come through reversed. So, right, I could be talking straight to the cross watcher. So whatever you got to do, you got to tighten up and shoot straight from the hip and be very cerebral about it. Okay? And this person knows that about you, knows that that's what's coming, because in their hidden energy, they know they can't put anything past you when you're in that mindset. So let's see the Queen of Swords. Fool. Two of Pentacles and the World. Very interesting. Well, in the hidden energy, I feel this person knows you very well and knows that you are exactly the kind that will be weighing pros and cons, assessing what you're dealing with, right? And also in that assessment, it's about taking risks. Because the Fool can be a leap of faith, but the Fool, it also has built into it some risk assessment. And the Queen of Swords, and this person knows that you will come into any situation, any conversation, kind of laser focused, almost seeing right through into, boring right through into their skull, into their psyche, and kind of reading between the lines. And you will be sorting it out in real time and deciding whether it's worth the risk to take a leap, to trust. And the World card, to me, being that that's from the bottom of the deck, meaning that's kind of sort of in this person's unconscious awareness, is, are we going to close out the difficult cycle and have a new beginning or not? Because that's, in essence, Saturn. Saturn's the great teacher. Saturn sort of lets us know if we've done a good job, if we've, closed out a difficult cycle, if we've learned lessons, if we've kind of grokked it, and if we get to move on and get the freedom from the difficulty, from the pain, from the restriction, from whatever. So I have a feeling like I'm not seeing the topic that set things back a bit. I'm not seeing anything about commitment or marriage or life partnership or anything. I'm just seeing a conversation almost about the forgiveness angle, if that makes sense, about, are we going to kind of keep this moving, if that makes sense. I'm not seeing anything about what set things back. I'm seeing, are we taking a chance here and continuing to move forward. So let's see the Emperor. Hold on. The Moon, Nine of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, well, not surprising. We could have some worries, some anxieties rise to the surface, even some anxiety, some insecurities, some fears. That's normal, coming from divine masculine, but also about the divine masculine. You know, it's sort of, you're both coming from the same point of view. But with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like divine time is working in your favor. It will unfold as it's meant to unfold. So it's not going to be a perfect situation right away, but it feels to me like if you both are having the same experience where there's a little bit of angst and, you know, uncertainty, it's okay, because if you're mirroring that for each other in essence, and the Wheel of Fortune is your friend. It's going to unfold as it's meant to unfold. There's fate and destiny unfolding for you. So what I'm going to do is, before I give you the astrology, I am going to definitely do the extended from the point of view of this person, King of Wands, Emperor, and see it from their vantage point, meaning how are they perceiving this connection? What are they processing around it right now? How do they feel about you or think about you? What are their intentions toward you? And hopefully we'll get a little bit more into the dynamics of what set this thing back, instead of just, are we going to move forward from here or not? So that's what I'm going to do. The links are below, and please read, because there are a couple different ways you can access extendeds. 2 of them are monthly memberships. So check that out. And also, if you've enjoyed the reading and you haven't yet done so, please do subscribe below. That really helps me out a lot. And for all of us here on YouTube, that's the one thing that we really want more than anything, is to grow our subscriber base. So please join us here in this community. I really would appreciate it. And here we go for the astrology. We have the King of Wands is Leo, as I said. Page of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag. The Devil is associated with Capricorn. Here we are, Taurus, in the Hierophant. We've got the Emperor twice is Aries. The Sun is Leo also, so lots of Leo energy here. The High Priestess is the Moon. The Moon rules the sign of Cancer. The Star is Aquarian energy. Queen of Swords, she came out twice. That's Libra. Page of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. King of Pentacles is more Taurus. Let's see, the Fool is the planet Uranus, and Uranus rules Aquarius. The World card is Saturn. Saturn used to rule Aquarius and now rules Capricorn. And then the Moon is Pisces, and the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. And don't forget the Venusian Galactic Council. Star beings, answer the call, time to shine. Beautiful message, and I will see you over at the extended. I'm headed there now. See you in a minute. Bye.